Clippers, though, have the bigger loss, and that is Kawhi Leonard suddenly out, and we wait to hear, the extent of that injury. But let's hear Ramona Shelburne, who was part of the reporting on the Kawhi Leonard injury. She was on the jump yesterday and gave us the latest on Kawhi Leonard's knee injury.
The situation that they got bad news on whatever imaging they had done or tests they had done during the day. The fear, Rachel, is that this involves the ACL, which is a ligament in your knee. They're calling it a sprain for right now, but they need to do some more imaging to determine how severe this is, because when you have an injury in a game, Matt, you know this, it swells up the next day. And it's hard to determine exactly which ligaments are involved here, how serious this is. So right now they're calling this a right knee sprain, but they need to do some more tests to see how severe this is.
If he has a torn ACL, they know. They just don't let us know yet.
Yeah, that's kind
They're
of
not letting us
the whisper
know.
right now is that's their
You don't
fear.
need to do more imaging to recognize you have a torn ACL.
Yeah, but it could be ACL, MCL, PCL. It could be all that. It could be really bad inside. So, yeah, you still do imaging because once it swells up, you want the swelling to go down so you can see everything that's in there. If it is an ACL, it could be other damage done to his ligaments as well, which then would be something totally different.
Oh, my God, yeah. Can you imagine that? Now, again, he could miss the rest of the series. We don't know. Again, we don't know the extent yet. They haven't announced that yet. But missing the rest of the series, so the questions that now abound because, and we'll get into this a little bit later on, the injuries that are hitting pretty much every team except, coincidentally, Milwaukee so far.
Well,
knock
Dante
on wood.
DiVincenzo.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You're right. They are missing him. But every team has felt the effects of injuries happening. We'll get deeper into that. But the effect it has on the Clippers, when you consider that before this Kawhi issue, they were fairly healthy. And they could have been that team you feel, all right, the Lakers are out of the way. The Nets have their injuries. Could the Clippers win a title? Now, can they do it without Kawhi this year, in this year's window?
I think,
considering everybody who's left and the condition all these rosters are in.
I honestly think that anybody can win a title this year if the Brooklyn Nets are not at full strength. That's how I feel. I feel like if they're at full strength, then it's a wrap.
Right.
They're not good. It's just a wrap.
But they're not going to be at full strength.
Why not?
Kyrie does that injury.
Well,
he's
Kyrie, that ankle.
He didn't make the trip.
So if Donovan Mitchell is still plagued off his ankle injury now, I mean, he's had multiple weeks, like a month. I mean, he's been playing on this thing. Like, that never goes away from you, especially in, like,
but
within
we're talking
a month. There's a month left.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about a while from now, championship.
That's what I'm saying, though. I mean, like,
if they get there, all that rest.
So, but you still have to go through the Eastern Conference Finals, and then is Kai going to play on that ankle? How will it be?
But do you feel?
And then James Harden is plagued with that hamstring. But
do you feel that Brooklyn has enough to take on either the Hawks or the Sixers and get past them without Kyrie?
I would say,
because I'm assuming Harden's playing, so
he's going to play hurt.
Yeah, I'm assuming that.
I think the whole thing's wide open this year, man.
See, I think
suddenly
I think it's suddenly wide open.
Yeah.
Now.
I think
wide open.
I think
Phoenix can win it.
Still strong.
Phoenix can win it. Phoenix can win a championship. The Clippers can win a championship. Utah can win a championship. Like, I don't know if the Hawks, if you're the Hawks, you're sitting there saying, man, we got a 3-2 lead against the 76ers. I'm looking at the Nets. They're not fully at strength.
And they can't go. And because of that, their defense is heavily compromised. When James Harden's out on the floor, the Nets defense is heavily compromised.
But if you ain't taking advantage of it, if you're not taking advantage of it like Milwaukee the other night, then they're at full strength.
Yeah.
But Key, I'm going to do
You're helping them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to do a tape tonight on NBA Countdown on how not to guard Kevin Durant. I mean, literally, I went back and watched it. I can give you 40 plays where I'm like, what are you doing? Like, there's one play where he comes off a screen, and it's with Bryn Forbes, right? Bryn Forbes is all about 6'1", 6'2", a shooter, right?
Good three-point
Bryn,
shooter.
gets out there. He shows on the screen. He shows on the screen, right?
Slap the floor.
PJ Tucker comes over the screen. I'm like, trap him. And then Bryn Forbes runs back to Landry Shamet. It's like, recover, and turns his whole back to KD. I'm like, what? Why are you turning your back to KD?
Face guarding Landry
Double
Shamet.
Team him. Give Landry Shamet the ball.
Go ahead, ain't going to get nothing done. Because I'm going to shoot right over that.
That's fine, but now you have to shoot over two of us, me and PJ Tucker.
Yeah, but I'm 8 feet tall, man.
That's
I
fine.
got that.
I'd much rather you take a contested shot over two people or I'd much rather you have Landry Shamet feel like he needs to do. I'm just telling you, the plays were mind-boggling. So I wonder if they have to make those adjustments tonight. You have to. If you're the Bucks, there's no way you can't come out of this series. There's no way you can't.
Like, they're in now must-win mode, and there's so much fallout if they don't get this done.
Where is James Harden's health at now, though?
He's going to play.
He's on the
Nash,
where is
trip,
his health at? I know he's playing, but where's it at? Is he better than he was in Game 5?
He can't be better after 46 minutes on that thing.
You don't know how his body responds.
That's true.
He looked like he had on a Michelin suit in Houston. 3 days later, he looked as slim as me.
That's a great point.
So, I mean, like.
I see what you just did there, though.
What did I do?
Yeah, he's saying you look lean to
Oh,
me,
no,
baby.
I'm just saying he looked like the Michelin man.
He really did.
It really did.
really did.
It did. He put on the Nets uniform. We was like, he took that suit off quick.
Well, the uniform's very slimming.
That could be the case.
I do want to give Giannis a shout out though, because yesterday we played sound talking about him calling Kevin Durant the best player in the world, and I think we all can agree that Kevin Durant right now is playing like the best player in the world.
Yeah.
He did say though he does want to take on the challenge of guarding Kevin Durant.
Well,
So here's my thing.
thanks.
I
mean, yeah, that's nice.
I have no
Captain
problem.
Obvious.
I have no problem. Like my thing though is
Finally, I think I want to guard Kevin Durant.
that's my point. I would have just led with I'm going to take on the challenge of guarding the best player in the world. He's mine. I would even call him the best player of the world. Like I wouldn't have said it.
No, I wouldn't have said that. But I mean, for
That's
him,
fine for
Or
other
I
people.
wouldn't have never responded and said that I want to do it.
for
I
him
just
to
go out on
even
the court and do it.
say that now is like now you
You're
want
being
to.
pressured
Well,
into it
of
by
course you
people.
are. Thank
Well,
you.
well, here's my point. Okay, if you're
shouldn't
being
take that.
pressured or if you say it, here you go.
Let's watch it.
Game 6 at home.
doubt.
He just dropped 49, 17, and 10. It was a horrific strategy
had 60.
defensively. There you go.